everyone. It's your host, Heather, back with another episode of the So She Slays podcast. I am super excited to have Spicy Mari in. She has been here before. You are a returning guest.
Yes.
We love having you on. I feel like you give such raw information when it comes to relationships and dating and all this kind of stuff. You're the founder and CEO of The Spicy Life. You're a magnetic matchmaker. You have made your appearances across all different streaming platforms like Netflix, Paramount Plus. You've been on MTV. You're like the go-to person for like expert advice on all the love and relationships and the this and the that's. So before we dive in, because we're going to definitely dive into like modern dating, because I know a lot of our listeners, including myself, we got some issues. All right. We're not having it. It's not fun. We're not enjoying it anymore. It's exhausting. But before we head in that direction, tell me what's been going on, because it's been a minute since you've been in our studio.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, where do I begin? Did I have my son when I came last?
I think you just
mom. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So within the last few years, 3 shows. The Love Experiment, on MTV, Paramount Plus, Love Always, and now Sneaky Links. So it has not stopped since my
nearly
a show a year. In addition to running my business full time, finally finishing the book for The Spicy Life and my method and how you can match yourself. So I'm giving like all the tools, my relationship advice within this book, and how to attract your purpose mate. Now I am on the hunt for a publisher. So yes, I decided, I was like, I want my book published. So putting that out in the ether and working hard to set up appointments and get that going. But already like, okay, let's begin book number 2 and 3. So it's nonstop. All the meanwhile, making sure that I juggle an amazing social life with friends and planning phenomenal family events so that I can make epic memories with my husband and son. And in between that, my relationship coaching and making time to attend my clients' weddings.
You know, all of the things. I feel like you just listed off 17 billion. No big. I love the fact that you are like literally just taken over with all of these streaming platforms and all of these shows. And I mean, I feel like the last time we had you on, I mean, you definitely give, like I said, solid advice and like some real actionable steps here. And I want to talk to you about this because, you know, you were on Sneaky Links, right? The dating in, it's the new. Is it? I think this is the second season, right? On Netflix or something like that. It's the first season?
Yeah, this is the first season, Sneaky Links, Dating After Dark. The premise is these folks come in not knowing that we invited their Sneaky Links. So they think they're just going on a dating show. We've invited their hookup buddy, their situationship. And we try to test to see, like, if we guide you through emotional vulnerability and help you in your decision-making, can your Sneaky Link be the one? Can they actually become that person? And it turns out that
I mean, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop.
You got to watch the show to see what happened.
Oh my goodness. I mean, it's a really fun premise because I don't know. I can only imagine. I mean, the show's out right now. It came out May 21st, right? Something like that.
Oh, you have a good memory. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it came out like almost a month ago. So y'all can like hop on Netflix and take a look and all that kind of stuff. But I can only imagine the awkwardness that was.
Yeah.
Like, I would just be like, oh my God, what are you doing here?
That's exactly how they felt. They were like, how did they get your information? You're supposed
oh my gosh. You're supposed to be a secret. No one's supposed to know about you.
For sure. It was shocking them.
Oh my gosh. So I kind of want to, on that note, I feel like Sneaky Links and all of that, situationships are very much like, it's a norm in modern dating. It's like a thing. I mean, I feel like it's always kind of been a thing because we've always kind of had like friends with benefits and all this kind of
Mhm.
stuff. We just have like cooler names now. Like
Way cooler names.
way cooler names. So it's just like I would love to get your take on like trends that you saw not only on Sneaky Links but like
Mhm.
in general because you talk to so many of your clients, right? And they're not just like regular schmegular people like all of us, but they also are like really like celebrities and like I feel like dating in these issues, relationship issues, it doesn't matter like how well you're known, how you're not, the money, the this and it just like they're all pretty much same. So
Yeah.
I'm like, what are these trends that you're seeing?
I'm seeing a lot of us having dating burnout and being disheartened by where the shift of dating is going within this culture, right? There's been a cultural shift of, I think, normalizing, excusing people's fear and bad behavior.
Mm,
If we can't beat them, let's join them.
mm,
Okay. So we can be someone who's very much like, I want to commit a relationship, I want to be a girlfriend, or I want to be a wife. But let's just say men these days don't believe in that. So because I can't conquer them, I can't beat them, let me just join them. Let me just behave like they do. Let me just compromise my values and let me just have a good time. Problem with that, right, is we are perpetuating a hookup culture
mm,
where people get permission to not have to face their fears, not have to be emotionally available, not have to operate in a place of maturity, not have to operate in a place of accountability to one another and how they treat each other. And staying under the umbrella of, well, it's just a situationship, or you're just my sneaky link. I don't have to be responsible for how I behave and how that behavior makes you feel.
mm. True. Lack of accountability, lack of responsibility, all across the board, right? It's like, well, you knew what it was. I hear that
But
quite a
we're
bit.
breeding a culture of non-committal. And so
Mm-hmm.
we are, men and women, contributing to that, right? There's 100 reasons why it is happening. And we can blame it on our parents and their high divorce rate and them not setting us up for success in relationships. But at a certain point, we have to look at our lives and the lives that we want to create in the future, right? 5 years from now, what do I want my life to look like? And is my behavior right this very second and how I'm building relationships and partnerships going to get me there? Because if it's not, then I'm going to face the consequences and the hardships of some poor decision making that I may not be able to retract.
Mm, mm. Okay, but here's my thing that like I feel like a lot of us are running into too. So it's like, well then I keep running into I'm going to take it from, the female perspective or if you're interested in men just because that is that is Slay Nation. So, I will say like what if we take it from the perspective of just like well, if that's the only thing that they're offering, like that's the only thing I'm finding
Mhm.
in it. It's like I want somebody and I want a relationship and like nobody out here is ready to like you said commit. Like what are the options then?
We need to be honest about what we really want. And then we need to have and hold that standard and continue operating from a place of expectancy, belief, and not settling.
Mm,
Okay. And so part of what we also need to do in our dating experience is give feedback.
yeah.
I'm I appreciate you taking me out, but instead of ghosting you, I want to give you some feedback. This is where I don't see that we are compatible. This is the lack of compatibility. This is why, and this is why I need to move on to the next person, right? So we're actually like giving some constructive feedback to where they need to improve.
Not like, you know what, this is just not gonna work.
Like I really value communication. Unfortunately, your lack of consistency doesn't work for me. But moving on to the next, like wish you the best of luck.
Mm-hmm.
But what we do is we stay longer, we beg, we take crumbs. And because we like maybe the way that they look or something that they did 4 dates ago, but they're not doing anymore, we will stay longer than we should, wasting time. And while, yes, there are a ton of people who may not treat you the way that you deserve, there's also another half in portion that that want to, that are aligned with you, but you aren't making time to discover those people who are aligned with you. And I call it like my 20 doors theory, where it's like there's 20 doors that you have to get through and go through to find your purpose mate, okay, to get with
Mhm.
your one. But if you get trapped at door number 3, then you miss out on these other doors that you potentially have to open to get to the good one. Because as you open yourself up, you're also opening yourself up to other experiences, people who are not qualified that you need to be
Mhm.
quicker at eliminating, not
Yeah.
getting emotionally attached to, not hooking
Yeah.
up with, if that makes you emotionally attached. I'm one of those people. I really
Mhm.
value intimacy, and I feel like if I gave you my body, that should mean the world to you. And so instead of me devaluing it and saying, well, sex doesn't mean anything to me, I can have sex and no feelings attached. No, no, no. Actually, I go crazy and I want to get married tomorrow. And that is me being performative of feeling like I can handle it, performative of feeling and detaching from what it means to me. So because it means something to me, I should actually cherish that thing and then just find someone who cherishes it too. I shouldn't
Mhm.
be I shouldn't be doing it before I, go through commitment with you. I should experience different levels of intimacy with you before I take you there. And so oftentimes what we're doing is filling voids. We're just like, okay, well, I got to get it from somewhere and you don't want anything serious or you're not qualified. So let me just let you drain me of some time and attention and energy that could actually be going to some areas of self-love and potential mates that would be a better fit.
Mhm. And that kind of, I mean, I guess that brings me to the next like question, because it's like, yes, I love that 20 doors theory. I think like that's great. I know that there's a lot of people listening, and myself included, being like, Maddie, that's like, God, that is so much freaking work. Like, I'm like, I am already burnt out. I am already exhausted. This has definitely like lost its luster, you know. And so it's like 20 doors. I'm like, I am done at like 8. Like,
Okay. So let's just say you really want to work at So She Slays. Like that's your like dream
Mhm.
position, right? You want to be like
Mhm.
host podcaster for So She Slays. But I tell you, well, it's going to take 20 interviews, but you will get it. Would you go through
Mm.
the 20 interviews? Yes or no?
If I
Or is
had
that,
a guarantee at the end, sure.
do you usually get what you want when you put your mind to it?
Yes.
When you educate yourself, you follow up on your resources, you exercise great judgment, and you really apply yourself.
Yes.
Okay. So your success will only be as successful as you are. Okay. So based on your track record, you have a belief in self that you're like, I can do this, right? But you don't know that until you go through the growing pains of those 20 interviews that you finally get that yes. Okay. And sometimes maybe it's not So She Slays. Maybe it was supposed to be, People Magazine, or maybe you're supposed to be doing a
Mhm.
podcast. Either way, through those experiences of those 20, it prepares you. It prepares you for that 20 that is like, yes, boom, this is the one. I practiced for you. So when I hear people say, like, I'm burnt out, I'm tired, this is too much work, well, then you don't want relationship and marriage, because it is all about service. None of it is glamorous unless you make it that way. It is work to even make your relationship glamorous and romantic and all the amazing things, because you're taking the good and the bad. So if you
Mhm.
tell me you want to work at So She Slays and then I give you the job because you've done 20 interviews, do you then stop performing and stop trying now that you have the job? No, you actually, you're like, no, I
Mhm.
still need to be impressive. I still got work to do. I still need to watch the way I speak, the way that I make my colleagues feel. I still need to execute. I still need to get these date things on time. Like, you're still responsible. But if you can go through the process of getting there, but you want the reward of being there, that's actually where the work begins. And that's the same with
Mhm.
relationship. I hear so many women, and I get the client who comes to me, and I love her to death. The superior woman, the alpha woman, right? She runs the world. She's the
Mhm.
greatest at what she does. But when it comes to relationships, she doesn't want to apply that same mindset. She doesn't want to have to do as much mental gymnastics and as much work when it comes to her love life. Understandably so, because it takes away from the romance of it if we
Yeah.
have to work. I am more results driven. So I'm like, what is the goal? How do we get there? Okay. So I help take that great skill set of what has made you successful here and where do we need to tweak it a little bit, right? What's the language that we need to use? It may not look as corporate, but it is going to look maybe us leaning into our feminine. How do you
Mm.
speak to the man that you are trying to attract? How do you speak to, how do you motivate him? How do you guide his feelings and emotions? And that takes practice. You don't just knock it out the park first guy. That takes practice. That is work. Okay. And then you
Hmm.
continue massaging that when you actually get into the marriage. Because if you couldn't juggle the dating plus career climbing at the same time, now you think you're going to have a husband and manage your career growth at the same time as well, and then introduce kids into the mix.
No,
All
thank
of
you.
this is
That
boot
sounds
camp
so much.
preparation. It's all boot camp and preparation for managing energy. Relationships are energy management. How do you manage your energy and how do you manage somebody else's?
Mm. Oh, that's a good point. I don't think anybody has ever made that correlation where it's like you're just managing
Just
energy.
managing energies. That's all you're doing. You got to do that in the office. You got to do that with your crazy family members. You got to do that with
Hmm.
your friends because all of them have different personalities. And then
Mm.
you got to do it with your partner as well. If you're saying that's the one place that you don't want to have to do it, but
It's
you're
just not going
nurturing,
to work.
yeah, it's not going to work because you're nurturing all these other relationships. You don't mind doing it with your friendships, your family, and your career, but you don't want to do it with love. That's actually the most important place that needs it.
Mm. Mm. Okay, I have to ask then though, because like, okay, solid points, solid points. I feel like perspective's everything,
Every
right?
time you gotta speak on their
Right.
behalf. Mm-hmm.
When it comes to like dating apps too. Okay,
Yeah.
so I've like, there's the trajectory where people are like anti-dating apps right now, which I'm not necessarily that sad about because it's not exactly my favorite place either.
Yeah.
And then there's also, the perspective of like a lot of people who use dating apps tend to be the non-committal type of
Mm-hmm.
people, right? Because it's very easy to pop in and pop out and
Yep.
then get a little dopamine fix, and all of that kind of stuff. But it's definitely harder if you're someone who's more of the genuine nature and you're actually wanting the thing, like the relationship, or you're someone who wants the husband and the kids and the
Yep.
this and the that, right? So what is your stance on the dating apps? How they should be used and if they should actually be used? Because I think what right now that's where majority of people are meeting romantic partners.
Mm-hmm. I love technology. I love what it has done for us. I love the ability to connect with people far, far away, or local down the street. I think that the digital advancements that we've made are a gem and a gift. Okay. But I also think that it needs to be a mix. Okay.
Mm.
Apps have been great for my business because people are realizing that they don't have that great communication or interpersonal skills that they think that they have. So it's been great for me because I'm like, okay, let me coach you, honey. Because the same way that you think that you're just like phenomenal and that you know how to communicate in relationship, you don't. Because why? You haven't practiced that and nobody taught you. So
Mm.
so when it comes to dating apps, I love them because it's an additional tool that we can use. But you also have to understand the market, right? People aren't making decisions. There's Baskin Robbins 31 flavors on there. It's we were getting all the avoidance and all the anxious all in one population. So you do have to weed through it like Ross or TJ Maxx, right? But
Mm.
that's why that can't be the only place you shop. It has to be a mixture. Okay. It has to be in the wild. It has to be at events. You need to be going to where the person is who you are interested in, and where do they frequent? Where do they go? Okay. And it's not your Pilates class. He is not in your Pilates class. I'm sorry. So, so you have to step outside of your comfort zone, and apps make us very comfortable. They make us like, hey, I don't have to be outside of the house and social today. But prior to
Mhm.
dating apps, that's how we met people. We put
Mm.
ourselves out there. And so it has to be a mix. The same way that I just used the example of you wanting to work at So She Slays. If they weren't replying to you on LinkedIn, do you just not go after the job still? What do? You're like, okay, let me go to this networking event. Let me go to this job fair. You know what? Let me check with my resources. Let me ask friends if they know anybody that knows anybody at So She Slays. And
Mm.
women, we look at it like, well, I don't want to look desperate. I don't want to tell my friends and family to help me out. I don't want to use my community or my resources to help me find a partner. Honey, you don't really want it then.
Mhm.
You're vulnerable right now. You think you'll be vulnerable when he comes along? It's all about putting yourself out there. Is there high risk? Yes. That is what love is, okay? Giving someone the power to hurt you, trusting that they will not, based on proven track record. But if
Mhm.
you're not willing to work for it because you just want it to land on your lap, as lovely as that sounds, that is not modern dating. That is not the age that we're living in. It is not, grandma thinks this guy, would be swell who helped her with her groceries and, she's introducing you, or it's not, just parents matchmaking you anymore. Like, it's not, it's times have changed. We care so much about being emotionally connected with someone. And we care so much about also how they show up on resume and all the things that we really need to hone in on, like, what is it that we need? Okay. Build the
Mhm.
prototype. And am I a good fit for that? Because are these needs or are these wants? And then where does this man exist?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I'm so glad we pivoted to here because this was
Mhm.
going to kind of be my next like line of questioning as far as that goes. Because we talked about, going out, getting out of your comfort zone and
Mhm.
like different mind shifts and all this kind of stuff. But it's like, okay, well then what do you tell your clients or whatnot when they're just like, okay, well, I'm ready to get out there. But sometimes people are like, oh, I need this, I want this. But it's like, how do you know if that's exactly what you need and what you want? You know what I mean? I feel like there has to be a level of self awareness here. And then we got to go down that rabbit hole of where the heck does this person exist?
Did I give you the pizza last time I came?
Say again?
Did I give you the pizza?
No.
Okay, I'll give you my infamous pizza. Uh, the pizza is your roadmap. Okay. The pizza is something that I created to help narrow down our laundry list of 100 things of who we want.
Really, though, it is.
Crust, sauce, and toppings. Okay. That's what makes a good pizza. The crust is the foundation. What makes him a good person? Okay. In order for somebody to be a good person, these are the 5 qualities that I need to believe somebody is a good person, just a good human on earth. The sauce is what are the 5 things I need in order to feel loved? How does this person have to treat me? How do they need to make me feel? And what are the actions that they need to demonstrate to make me believe them? Okay.
Mm,
What does that courtship process look like? What is the treatment? Most people have a hard time with the sauce because they don't actually know how they need to be wooed. They have an idea what they saw on Instagram, what romance looks like, or what they're, but they don't actually know this is how I am moved. This is how I'm compelled to fall for you. So they need to get very clear on these 5 things. And then the last part is the toppings. These are the 5 things that I need in order to be sexually attracted to him. The
mm.
5 toppings, though, are negotiable. Because if you come at me and Heather, you're like, okay, I found my crust and I found my sides, but he only has like 3 of the 5 toppings, it's still a good pizza. I'm sorry. It's still devout worthy. Because I don't care if he has crooked teeth. We're gonna get him Invisalign. I don't care if he isn't 6'5" and he's 5'10". What? But he stands on business, so that makes him taller, boo. Like we can't. We got to get out of some of those superficial elements. And dating apps have only perpetuated our
Mm.
superficial, our vanity. Social media has bred us being these extremely like vulture crazy, superficial, vain people.
Mm. Facts.
And I'm not saying that there needs to be attraction, but you're going to tell me that someone is a good human being and they treat you like a queen and they're not attractive to you, they're not the problem then.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. I feel like we run into that a lot. I mean, there is definitely that level of superficiality when you do date somebody. And I think also too, the catfishing epidemic as far as like being able to like live up to those types of expectations, right?
Yeah.
And then you meet in person, you're like, who the heck is this? Which is not fun. It's definitely
No,
happened.
like also how we use the technology, right? Like why are we not doing, and this is something that I advise, spicy tip, get them on the phone, move them from the app to cell phone, from text message to telephone, or more importantly, FaceTime. Why
Mm-hmm.
are we not FaceTiming with them first? To see if they actually look like how they say, and to see if they're not a killer. Also to see what the
Minor.
but also to see what the energy is between us. Can you hold a conversation? Because you may not be a 10 on the app. Maybe you're like a 4 or 5, but you were pursuing me. You were willing to FaceTime with me. Let me just give this a chance. When I feel that energy and I feel your interest and your curiosity about me and the things that you share about your life, and I envision like, can I do this too? Does it sound like someone I like? You actually start to become more attractive to the person because you become more interesting. You are sharing with them. And so we need to get them on FaceTime so that we're not doing our hair and makeup and wasting valuable time for someone who shows up looking like they're, 80 when
Exactly.
their high school photos up there.
No, 110%, because I think that's a lot of like women too, where they're just like, God, I mean, I know a lot of people who are like, gosh, it's just like not worth the energy. Like it's so much. And it's like, I worked all day and I have to go get
It's
ready and go out. And it's like, it can be very exhausting. And I know that that's where a lot of people are at when it comes to dating in general. And I know that also too, how do we go about finding those men that are kind of meeting our pizza, right? Like, because I know there's going to be women listening that are just like, I have all of these things and I did the pizza, but like I don't know where to find these dudes. Like, where do I find these guys?
So the pizza's your roadmap, right? Then you go
Mm-hmm.
one step further and you're like, okay, when I imagine the type of, let's say, man that I'm with,
Yeah.
what sports is he into? Because I'm not going to any of those games. So maybe I should go there. Maybe I should go to a sporting bar or a game that he would be. Is he a part of any organizations? When I imagine this person, is he doing philanthropic work? Does he volunteer somewhere? How is he giving back to the community? What profession do I feel like would really, I don't know, be compatible with me? Okay. Or what pedigree? If you're very intentional about, I want an educated man, let's just say, what's the last alumni event you popped into? What's the last time, if you want him to at least be a professional, when's the last time you went to a networking event and introduced yourself to some men? When's the last time you went on LinkedIn and asked someone for coffee? These professions up there. Use LinkedIn as a tool as well.
Really? Because I feel like LinkedIn, like some people are just anti and they're just like, this is a professional platform.
Okay. So we're just networking, asking, are you down for coffee? I want to get to know you a little better. If he's married, he's going to say no. Unless he's a scumbag, and then the scumbagness will be revealed. But here's the thing, and why people aren't going to do this. Only like some of the listeners will. We don't want to embarrass ourselves. We don't want rejection. We don't want to be perceived as thirsty. I am happy when women think like that. Eliminate yourself from my dating pool. Eliminate yourself automatically from us women who want to go get it. It's because it's not necessarily, I don't want to make it seem like it's a competition, but it is an element of those of us who can, will. Those of us who want, we will. And so it's this mindset of, I don't want to have to do any work for it. Well, guess what? Your marriage and your dating life will reflect that. I'm so, like, I know this sounds like brutal because we want to live in a woo woo la la, but unfortunately, we teach all this messaging about intention, and then we don't apply it when it comes to our romantic life.
That is so true. I feel like that is so true. Okay, so my question to you then for this is like, with the intention and going out there and doing the work and all of that kind of stuff, what is your like top advice to women when they do feel burnt out or they do feel like getting on the dating app or going out on these dates? Like it just seems like it's taking more energy than what, one, they want it to, or two, it should, or something like that. Because I think that's a real thing. Like that's a real thing. A lot of women are just like, I'm just exhausted.
For sure. Sometimes you do need to take a little breaky break. But what happens is doing that detox or taking that break from dating usually turns into an excuse of, it's 2 years later, I'm still taking a break. And so we now have become, fearful to get back out there. We don't get back in the game. It's okay to take a little breaky break. But if you're desires remain true, then you got to continue. Okay. Take that time for self and come back. Okay.
Mm.
The other element is we need to be very clear on why we want what we want. Some of us do not belong in a relationship. Some
True.
have the worst intentions and the worst reasons for why we want a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us don't even love men. And what I mean by that is we want the relationship, but we don't actually adore and worship the creature and the gender that we want in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
So I always have women start with, what do you love about men? If you're having burnout, then you need to get back to why you want this to begin with. What is it about them that you believe makes them so incredible that they will contribute to your life? And you remind yourself of that every day. So Heather, I'm going to make you give me 10 things that you love about men.
I feel like you picked a definite good person for this, because I feel like some of our Social Slays audience is going to relate to this, because I've definitely gotten to the point where I'm just like, I am thoroughly unimpressed. Like,
Guess what, Heather? They feel that and they know that. Why would they pursue or be motivated to even attempt to be with a woman who carries that energy?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They're
And
not
I
even.
see that. And I see that. And I think like, and I'm gonna speak behind my experience in hopes that hopefully Slay Nation can relate to this. I'm sure you
Mhm.
could, at least pieces of it. But upon my experience, it's just like, a lot of the dates and all this kind of stuff. And it's like you get to know somebody, or you get to know several people, because you're out there dating, and you're just like, like this is not it. This is not
Mhm.
it. And it's like several of those experiences, right? And you're like, why are these men just like, not, this is not impressing me at all. Like I'm thoroughly unimpressed by the options and the choices. And so for me, it's like to sit here and be like, oh, this is what I love about men. I love that men that can actually be
I
confident
love
with
that
them.
men are.
I love that men are, because not all men are, though.
I
That's the
love that
thing.
men are. See, but this is what we do, right? You're like, instead of thinking about their species and their gender, positive way, what they contribute to society, the value that they bring, you want to preface it with the bad experiences that you've had and the ones that failed you. That's what
Mm-hmm.
you need to flip that. You cannot be a magnet and attract the thing that you say is a desire of your heart if you don't adore that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get back to the adoration. What do you love about men?
That they can be emotionally intelligent and like read. I'm gonna say me, women in general or whatever. Read some needs. That they are communicative,
Okay.
loyal, uh, ambitious, funny.
I love that men are ambitious. I love that men are funny. Say it with me.
I love that men know how to take charge.
I
I
love that men.
love, I love that men can be a soft, or I love that men are a soft place to land. I love that men are dependable. Is that 10?
No, that's 9.
Oh, that's 9. Okay, I got one more. I love that men are willing to help you.
Okay. Usually I make you guys do 20. Just for this,
Oh my goodness, that was not hard enough for me. I was like 10. Jeez.
but the way that we have been dating and the way that we've been extra, like you're not alone in the exercise. Like women are going to do this as they listen to this episode, and then we're like, "Dang, well, I've only experienced scumbags, or I've only had a failed relationship." Okay, but yeah, you want this thing, so we have to do the work to be reminded, right? And this is like the transformational work that I do with my clients, because we cannot be in a situation where we are saying, I want this thing, and not understanding the value that they bring, the need for them. Okay. If I don't know the why, we're not going to execute. If I don't know the why behind it, how am I going to be effective at getting it? And then I'm also going to generate that energy to them. Well, I don't,
Mm-hmm.
I'm on a date. I don't really know why you benefit me. I don't really know why, you would, what you would contribute to my life. You're actually not even something, I don't even respect and value you guys. They can feel that. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying that all of them are qualified. What I'm saying is this helps you in your dating disqualify them a lot easier, because a woman who really truly loves a man can spot a man who doesn't love women.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Be able to feel it. She'll be like, oh, on to the next. The way that I was able to, show up and with all the love and energy that I have to offer, you don't love men, sir. On to the next. I mean, you don't love women, sir. On to the next. And so it's the same. So the more like appreciative and grateful that we get for what they do contribute versus us having disdain for the ones that have hurt us, the more that we can get clear and then also through those 20 doors quicker.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It sounds like it's just all about like qualifying or disqualifying at a faster rate.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
And
it's not eliminating because of superficial elements. It's eliminating because we're not aligned spiritually. We're not aligned emotionally. We're not aligned um, mentally. And so, but once again, we have to focus on self. Okay, well, what is it that is good for me? What is it that I need?
got it. Got it. I mean, I feel like that is so indicative of the culture right now. And I mean, of our audience and even myself too, because I mean, we just went through the exercise myself, like, and I'm sure there's going to be people sitting in their cars or whatnot and being like, actually, what do I? Because there has been, like, what do I? Like, let me try and count all of this. Because we often go back and like reference all of the bad things, and it's just like I'm not thrilled, I'm not impressed, I'm just like, this is old. Like
Well, I also understand there's so if for, I want the people who are sitting there listening to understand though that you can also have the complete opposite perspective. There can be the person who thinks that men are disposable, or the other person who thinks that they're more valuable than us. Both are dangerous. Both
mm,
are dangerous, right?
facts, absolutely. And that kind of, so we just need to be in the middle.
We need to be in the middle. We have a deep love and appreciation for them. But if they are not operating from a place of love, then we are not aligned and equally yoked. And I got to go on to the next. I need to remove you because you are not operating at the same execution of light that I am.
Yeah. Ooh, I kind of like how you put it that way, because it is very much in alignment, very much in energy. Yeah, being able to like match the same energy is like so important. Before we go, I really love leaving the audience with like a little to do or a tidbit of information or whatever. Um, I would love it. Like, what do you think are your top things that you would recommend in dating culture right now? In like navigating to, your you call them purpose partners, correct?
Purpose mate, yeah.
Purpose mates. So what are your top tips?
Purpose mate is very specific. That is for the woman who is walking in her purpose, and I want someone to help me elevate in my purpose. Okay, he knows his purpose. Together, we are operating in a place to serve the world with our gifts. Okay, not everybody's ready for the purpose mate. Some people just need a date. Some people just. So that process looks very different. And so if it's someone who just needs more dating experience and to heal some wounds, then they can get back to a place of just focusing on self-love. But for the person who's extremely intentional and they're like, I want to elevate in the way that I date and elevate in the men that I experience, I do highly suggest, though, that them doing one thing a day for self-love and one thing a day to connect with the thing that they desire of their heart. So if it's one thing of self-love plus one thing of how do I meet a man? How do I connect with a man? Do I need to be swiping? Do I need to go out? Do I need to schedule something on my calendar? They need to be extremely intentional. It should be a balance. Okay. One way that I pour into me, one way that I pour into them, one way that I pour into me, one way that I pour into them. And definitely do my why I love men exercise. That should be one
I think honestly that is like way important, because until you made me do that, I was like, oh shit, why do I? It's true. It's like, if you don't have a why, well then why are you wasting your time sitting across from somebody trying to get to know them?
Yes, leave the good ones to us. Just get your head out of the game. Because honestly, that's what it is. And let me also clarify. Even if you are toxic as hell, you still belong in relationship, because there's plenty of toxic people to match with you. So I don't want them to be disheartened and feel like that they don't belong in. No, get your toxic person, because you don't want to heal and do the work, right? You want to be complacent, go get you a complacent man. You want to be, lazy and not rise to the occasion, that's what you belong with. But for us who understand the value of partnership and what we have to contribute and the legacy that we want to leave behind and the way that we want to serve and be service, we will do what it takes.
Oh, I see that. Okay, where can people find you, follow you, all the things?
thespicylife.com. Schedule a consultation with me. If I need to get you together, let me help you. It's a free consultation. We will see if we're a good fit to work together. So thespicylife.com. And then also my podcast, The Spicy Life. And also catch Sneaky Links, right, on Netflix. Stream. If you post it, that you watched it, and you tag me, I will make sure I retag you.
I love it. Oh my gosh. All right, Slay Nation, we dove deep. You even got to hear some insights on your own girl here. I hope this episode is helpful in a world where sometimes too much information leads you in too many different directions that are not the right one. So Lord knows there's enough out there. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for listening. And as always, make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment, all of that and above. And until next time, we'll catch you later.